Woohoo! And we are live. I'll give everybody a moment to join in. You probably know me, but I'm Sarah Olivieri. I'm a #1 international best-selling author, coach and trainer to nonprofit CEOs and sometimes to for-profit business owners who want to enjoy their businesses more, work less, become more profitable. And for nonprofits, in that terms, that means enjoy running your nonprofit more, have more time back in your day, and make a bigger impact with your organization. And I go live just like this almost every week to give you tips and tricks to make running your organization better, easier, more fun, all of the good stuff. And today I want to know, do you sometimes feel like instead of the CEO that you are the chief firefighter at your organization? I once met an executive director who told me that she kept a pillow in her office so that she could put it on her face when she had to secretly cry because she was so overwhelmed every day putting out fires in her organization. And I am really excited to share with you four tips. Well, actually, it's 3 tips on how to eliminate firefighting or reduce your firefighting, and 1 tip, which I'm going to save for the end, on how to prevent fires from coming up in the first place. So let me know, do you want to hear the tips? Put them in the chat. If you're here live, if you're on the replay, say, give it to me. Because put a fire emoji if you've ever been the firefighter at your organization. All right. So tip number 1, right? So people come to you, they're like, there's a fire. There's like something going on, not a real fire, right? Well, hopefully not a real fire, but I've been in nonprofit offices where like someone was there getting violent, or maybe it's, we're not going to make our funding goals, right? Any kind of fire, they come to you and be like, it's really, really important. Please help. It's a fire. The first thing I want you to do is evaluate and decide for yourself if this is a true emergency, right? So many people come to us with stuff and they're acting like it's an emergency when in fact it is not an emergency. So instead of being the chief firefighter, I want you to be the chief determiner of whether or not something is a fire that needs to be addressed. Is it really an emergency? And I bet that at least half of the fires that you're fighting right now are not actual emergencies, and you can deal with them in a planned and controlled way and let your team know, hey, that's not actually an emergency. We're going to be fine. Nobody needs to alter from their scheduled plans. Tip number 2 is that urgent doesn't always mean an emergency. A lot of people assign urgency to things, but I only want you to treat true emergencies as really urgent. And everything else that's really urgent, I want you to ask yourself, like, why is this so urgent? Urgent enough to put off something else that you were planning to do. So, for example, I had somebody email me something that they were not happy about on a late in the day on a Wednesday. And if I didn't respond, they were unhappy, but if I didn't respond, it wasn't going to affect their funding. It wasn't going to affect anybody's job. It wasn't going to affect anybody's life. The only thing that was urgent about it is they felt unhappy, and my desire as a human being to make them happy put this urgency on it. But I said, you know what? I actually had planned to be out of the office that Thursday and Friday, and I'd be coming back Monday. And I waited until Monday to respond because, in fact, that was not an emergency and I had more important things to do in my plan, and I needed to stick to my plan and not be derailed because urgent is not necessarily an emergency. All right, next up, number 3. So many fires that come to our plates, come to our offices, open our doors, come to our tables, call us up on the phone, will burn themselves out. We feel like we have to be the firefighter and put the fires out, but a lot of them will go away on their own. And I encourage you, next time a fire comes to your door or walks into your office or plops down on your desk or calls you up or lands in your inbox, to ask yourself, what would happen if I do nothing? What would happen if I do nothing? And I know lots of people notice my fire bucket back here. I'm going to pull it out for you. I actually have 2 fire buckets. This is my fire bucket that I keep around. You can see it there. This is where we put the fires, and I give it to you. If you have fires burning that could easily burn themselves out, you may put them in the fire bucket, and let them burn themselves out. And when people come saying, there's a fire, what I want you to do is say, it's okay. I put it in the fire bucket. I know it's there, and we're just going to let it burn itself out. All right. So those are my top tips on how to deal with fires or so-called fires when they come to your door. But now I want to tell you my secret about how to eliminate fires from happening in the first place. And this is by far the most effective time-saving thing you can do as a leader. So see, in our organizations, most fires are problems that once were issues. Issues are seeds that are not yet to be determined what they will become. But when you ignore an issue, or if you don't know an issue's there, it will usually emerge as a problem and come and whack you in the face, or it'll show up as a fire and someone will be like, there's fires. But if you go looking for your issues in advance and find them, I have yet to meet an issue that couldn't be turned into an opportunity instead of a fire if it was addressed early enough. So what we do in the impact method, which is my method for running nonprofits, is we have a weekly meeting called the issues meeting, where it's structured. Everybody follows the same agenda. It's super easy to learn. And part of that whole meeting is designed to go looking for the issues. And this is the real secret to how we start transitioning from reactive mode to proactive mode. And it's a double win, right? It's not just that we stop having to fight fires and have freed up a lot of time and energy. It's that we can turn those issues that would have become fires into opportunities. So now we have more time, more sanity, and more opportunities. I'll leave you with that. If you would like to receive like a summary of what I just said in this video in your inbox, go to pivotground.com/sign up. Or same thing, if you would like to receive an announcement about the next time I'm going live or trainings that are coming up, like how to get more time back in your day, or how to fix your board, or even how to hold an issues meeting, go to pivotground.com/sign up, and I'll let you know what is coming down the pipeline in the schedule. Once again, it's such a pleasure to be with you all live here, and I will see you next week. Bye-bye.